This is Poslink Listen, Living Positive Victoria's podcast by and about people living with HIV. For more information about the programs and services that LPV offers, please visit our website at livingpositivevictoria.org.au. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and X.
Hello, my name is Bo Newan from Living Positive Victoria, and welcome to Viral Stories, the podcast for our HIV positive storytelling night. This story was recorded on the unceded lands of the Kulin Nation. Viral Stories is Australia's first ever storytelling night centering people with HIV. Today's story has a content warning as it mentions sexual assault and sexual violence. Today's story is from Rodrigo. Rodrigo was born in Lima and now calls Melbourne home. He has worn many hats throughout his life and says recently he's just discovered how much he enjoys making coffee. He currently volunteers at the Positive Living Centre and is also a runner and amateur triathlete. Enjoy his story.
All right, well, good evening, Melbourne. So, to decide what to write or what story to tell, well, it's been fucking awful. I mean, don't get me wrong. I jumped at the opportunity as soon as it was presented to me. So I'll reframe. The technicalities on how to frame the story that I'm about to tell, that's been awful. Why? Because this is serious, you know? Like, I must present myself to an audience. To be exemplar, to have a good story to tell. And my syntax, my grammar needs to be on point. English is my second language, as you can tell from my accent. But then I remember the self that I am. It's a story of a human being, not an imagined ideal. This is the moment to be playful and adventurous and vulnerable and explore and be risky and express everything that you don't usually express. And above all, for me, to be present in my body. So, sneaky little doubt comes and flanks on me. What do they say? Are you positive enough, though? Are you positive enough to be sitting or standing or talking among these people? Am I? Well, yeah. Is that good? Am I pretty enough? Yes, tell me I'm pretty. But yeah. I'm fucking pretty too. But yeah, I'm posse. Like, I'm positive enough. I'm just positive to be here, sharing. So you can all relate to this doubt, how doubt plays with us. So I had a good cackle, and Lord knows I can cackle. Just ask my housemate. So am I positive enough? Yeah, damn right I am. That question is just plain silly. So after all that empowerment, it's time to walk the talk. But I procrastinate, and I did ever so for a week and a half. And until I said no more, the frustration was only overcome by that diluted optimism of, I'll do it. It'll be all right one day. It'll be fine. But, luckily, there's nothing like a few pushy messages from Gary. Just like, where's your draft? I need your draft. Oh, it's your draft. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'm going to sit down and bloody write it. And so I did. So this story holds truth. But most importantly, the truth that is as it is to me. So let's. Saturday afternoon, I was in bed, God knows why, still. And my wristwatch vibrates. Check it out. It's an unknown number. Try to see my phone, can't find it. Oh my God, my bed was tangled up. Finally, I found my phone. They wanted me to speak at an event, and they wanted to talk on the phone the next day. Bloody hell, who talks on the phone? Okay, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, I agree for a phone chat. Next day, Sunday, still in bed. Well, I was in bed again with a good reason now. because I had just run a new PB, new personal best. My phone rings. This time I have it on my hand. Why? Because I was tracking the delivery of Red Rooster. um, and yeah, it's an invitation to talk at this event. Yes, 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 clangorous, yes, vociferous, yes, I'm doing it. Hang up. And I was like, oh, fuck. I've never been public about being positive. Not to an audience, not at the NGBE Important Center. Anyway, Monday night, next day, we have a Zoom meeting with everyone who is about to speak. We're asked to write what is it that we did the day before. So I ran, I ate chicken, and I watched anime. Yes, very healthy. Now, write about what you didn't write about what you did the day before. A lovely memory of both my parents and I when I was a child, around 4 years old, was going to Kentucky Fried Chicken when it first opened in Lima, early 90s. So Kentucky Fried Chicken, it was very fancy. You'll go, table service, Americana food. You will go there to celebrate, right on Larco Avenue. So to get to Larco Avenue, you'll start walking through Pardo Parade. And I remember in the middle of the parade was a walkway. My mom, my dad, the beautiful trees just going all the way down. On the sides, just these beautiful early 20th century houses that the bourgeoisie had built. Just walk, 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 walk. You'll get to the oval, the roundabout. On the left, a huge manor. You keep going, the Swiss Hotel and Cafe. On the right, you see this very unusual for Lima triangular park called Kennedy Park that in fact is full of cats. Like it's just an insanely amount of cats. God knows why. It just happens. We'll walk through the park to Larco Avenue, full of flowers. I remember being blue and hues of blue and violets. And then this converted old manor was Kentucky Fried Chicken. So it was this very special moment. We'll go, we'll eat, we'll feast. And my mom will always say to me, you were just 4 years old and you'll go around every single table in this double-story restaurant and pick up all the plates and bring them to the waitress just to help. I just laugh. It's cute. So it makes me remember, it makes me feel that I'm close to my family. And that's nice. It's lovely. Makes me remember that my dad, both of us talking in his bedroom. He had just come out of major surgery. I was doing most of the talking, as you can imagine. I will tell him how well I was doing at therapy. Look, Dad, I'm good at therapy, you know? Like I'm excelling, like check, pass, next level. I even had the gumption to say, I will break the vicious cycles of the family. I'm the cycle breaker. Gee, little did I fucking know. He will do his best to listen attentively and smile and call me by my pet name. Not showing any signs that the cancer had already started creeping into his brain. So that memory, let's just pop it on the shelf for now. Grief and love, they're really just two sides of the same coin. One coin, actually, is more like a sphere, because if we have the coin here, emotions are dynamic. So imagine the coin spinning and spinning and spinning on its axis. Round and round it goes. A sphere starts to follow, with the coin never ceasing to spin. Grief and love are only one, amalgamated. So, I've watched Fleabag as many times as I have fingers. Fleabag is best described as a dark comedy, a very British dark comedy. But really, it's kind of not. The comedic and swords are just the veils. veils of disguise that are fundamental in the nature of life, for painfully blinding grief. So, a couple of weeks ago, I went to see the one-woman play based on the show at the cinemas, Little Cinemas. I went, me and a gaggle of gays that I ran with, that I very much cherish, even if I haven't been able to show it. They're very important to me, and they've been very important in how am I here, to be honest. We're watching the play, and I know that I'm here for a treat, waiting with anticipation for the moment. And I don't know if you've seen it, but there's this moment that everything is fucking revealed. So the moment comes, Fleabag rips the veil, it's savage and raw, and I'm gonna say it verbatim. And I fucked up my family. And I fucked up my friend by fucking her boyfriend. And sometimes I wish I didn't even know that fucking existed. I know that my body, as it is now, really is the only thing that I have left. And if it gets old and unfuckable, I might as well just kill it. And somehow, there is nothing worse than someone who doesn't want to fuck me. Because I just fuck everything. Either everyone feels like this a little bit and they're just not talking about it, or I'm completely fucking alone, which isn't fucking funny. It was a cannonball the first time that I watched the show. So, let's go into my head. Sometimes I wish I didn't even know that fucking existed. But unfortunately, that will be negating my own reality. So, I was also 4 years old when it happened. How many times it did happen? Well, I don't know. I only have one memory of it. But it happened that many times needed for me to normalize the abuse, the betrayal, the violence. It happened that many times for me to be conditioned to think that it was just a game we were playing. A game that I was asking for time and time again. I knew fucking existed way too early. It fucked up the wiring of my brain. Love, lust, intimacy, self-abuse, affection, self-worth. They're all scrambled. I believed that giving my body to anyone or anything was my only currency to trade for intimacy. And I still grieve for the self that I could have been, or that I should have been if that hadn't happened. When I first was diagnosed, this is what I thought. Well, now I have a body that nobody wants. It's tainted, unfuckable, unlovable, undeserving. So I might as well just kill it. And so I did. I started killing it. I only chose the long, slowly way. I am lucky to still be alive as a survivor, because not many of us really get through processing the pain. Now, I do allow myself to be proud of something. That is the relationship that I've started to have with my own self. Back to the cinema. I look to my left, and who do I see? My mate. My mate who is in tears after watching the play. I didn't want to disturb his moment, but I loved him for everything that he was feeling, for everything that the play and that monologue, that part of the monologue, had brought up in him. I didn't feel alone for that 5 minutes, 5 seconds, whatever time it passed. We were brothers in humanhood. Well, and yes, I felt connected. I felt great. It was like this feeling of, God, I can't really explain it in words, and this is like too many words to actually say, but it was just, I was punch drunk with this beautiful, warm beam of light coming out of every single orifice in my body, of just being within spirit with someone else. So I'm like, yes, so good, and it finished. So we all leave the cinema room and go to the foyer. I go into the toilet because I'm pissing myself, and I come out and I'm like, yeah, it feels amazing. And then the gaggle of gays had separated into a little giggle of gays with a duet. So 3 groups. And I see the duet and I'm like, oh fuck, I need to stop walking towards it. Why? Because in that duet, there was someone that I have to say I had been avoided since the first time that I saw them. Because you need to understand that I do have a thing for redheads. So I've been avoiding that person, like, consciously. So my mind is like, fuck, stop. And my body's like, no, we're doing it. You're feeling the love? You have to show up for yourself. Be vulnerable. Just like socialize. Like go and talk. So I go there and I like, hi. And then we started chatting quite nicely. And I'm like, hey, how was the marathon? He's like, yeah, really good. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So he's like, what are you doing next weekend or this weekend or later? And I'm like, and in my head, oh, fuck, you have to tell him. Just say it. Like, say what you're doing, which is writing the story about viral stories, which because, I'm HIV positive, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, just say it. It's your time. It's your chance. Just say it. Like, doesn't matter. Like, what else? Like, fucking say it. And I'm like, oh, yes. So I'm sitting down writing this story for viral stories, which is, like queer stories, but with people who are living with HIV, different genders, different sexualities, like just being humans. And he's like, oh, amazing, that's cool. And I'm like, oh, you do write for comedy. You're a stand-up comedian. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, what's your process? And then we started just like talking about the process of writing. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Anyway, cool. Left. Later that night, boop, met Facebook. Like he asked me on Facebook, and I just like a little stalking. Because you have to stalk a little bit. One of his profile pictures, it was, I don't know if you remember, that U equals U promo with the red background and the equals in pink. He had it as a profile pic. And I'm like, being brave paid off this time. Like, I loved it, I liked it. And he was like, good. Yeah, this can happen. Really good experiences out of coming out can happen as well. So that was cute. So remember the story that we popped on the shelf? So we're going to take it. We're going to open it. And I see myself going into my dad's bedroom, I knock. I see my dad on the bed, me or the self that I was, sitting there. And I knock, and my dad turns to me and smiles and calls me by my pet name. And I'm like, can I come in? He's like, yeah, of course, come in, lay down next to me. And I look at him, and I look at the self that I was. And I'm like, he was a bit silly, wasn't he? My dad says, I say, yeah, it was a bit silly, but you were just starting. It was the beginning. If that hadn't happened, you wouldn't be here right now. I'm like, yeah, that's true. And I say, I'm sorry for not telling you. I was just very afraid that I will break the family, that I was the one to blame. I'm really sorry for not telling you. My dad just holds my hand and pops it next to my face. And I feel loved. Because I know that he would have protected me. So maybe one day I'll just take that redhead for crispy chicken. Because, I fucking love crispy chicken. One day, I don't know when. And, but yeah, he's sitting there, so fuck. Thanks.
Viral Stories was made possible with the support of the City of Melbourne Connected Communities Grant. Viral Stories is hosted by Living Positive Victoria, who have been representing people with HIV in Victoria since 1988.
That was the third of 5 viral stories in this series. Remember to subscribe to stay up to date with our podcast. And for more information, please visit livingpositivevictoria.org.au.